Today is part 4 of this 4-part journey into my dad's life and how it's led me into my burning desire and passion for helping others in entrepreneurship. Today, we're going to read a letter that my dad wrote himself as his speech for a graduating class of Atterbury Job Corps. As you know, in previous videos, you understand that my dad was called back to be a motivational speaker for Job Corps and traveled around the country speaking to graduating classes and giving them motivation, inspiration, and letting them know that they can overcome any and everything. So today, here we have, good morning, ladies, gentlemen, students, staff, and honored guests. It's an honor to come before you, a great honor. I want to thank the Flatwood Job Corps Center and especially Mr. Carver for making this possible. I love coming back to Job Corps and saying thanks. Today I am back to say thank you, Job Corps. I have fond memories of Job Corps, especially the potatoes. They were good and they were often, like 7 days a week, 3 times a day, fried for breakfast, smashed for dinner, and baked for supper. There was something else that we had back in those days, but no one knew what it was. No one had a name for it, but it was good. It had white gravy on it, and that's the only thing that was identifiable. I ate it for a year and have spent the last 36 years trying to find something that even look or taste like it, but I haven't had any luck. But Atterbury prepared me, and Atterbury prepared me well. When I arrived at Atterbury, my counselor told me, "You are now a corpsman. Your main objective is to learn a trade so that when you leave here, you can get a job, provide for your family, and be a productive citizen, as well as help others that are not so fortunate." When I got ready to leave there, Mr. Logan, the barber, there told me to give them hell, son. I recently found out that Mr. Logan is now deceased. But if Mr. Logan was still alive, I would have a message for Mr. Logan. I would say, "Mr. Logan, it got reversed. They gave me hell, but I won." You see, Atterbury prepared me, and Atterbury prepared me well. As you heard in my introduction, I own my own business. I meet lots of prestigious people out here, people with clout, people with big titles from different colleges and universities, some in politics, some in law, some in business, doctors, real estate brokers, some of all kinds. And believe me, they check me out too. They are not interested in how smart you are. They check to see how dumb you are. You see, Atterbury prepared me, and Atterbury prepared me well. I met this gentleman, and he said, "I graduated from Morehouse College." I said, "I graduated from Atterbury Job Corps Center." He said, "I have a degree in business." I said, "I have a business." He said, "To me, I graduated in the top 5 of my class." I said, "Here, I graduated in the top 4 in mine." Because you see, that day I went into the classroom back at Atterbury to take my GED test, there were only 4 of us in there. I graduated, so I was at least number 4. So young people, get your act together. Put on a belt and hold your head up. Now is the time, and this is the place. If you don't, may the Lord have mercy on your soul. Do this knowledge the way you do this chicken. You get it all up. When you leave here, take all the knowledge and education with you. The government can buy some more. On or about August 1st, I was sitting in my office reading the newspaper. I came across this article about the grand opening for the Memphis Job Corps Center that was taking place on August 3rd, 1998. So I decided to go to the grand opening and tell my story. They might not let me in, but I would give it a try. So I said, what can I take as proof that I am a former corpsman? So I went into my closet and pulled out this. It's a coat. This coat was issued to me when I was first arrived at Atterbury. This was the first new coat I had ever owned. I have had this coat for 37 years. Now let's get to the good part. My story. There are some people who think it's great. Mr. Tiggs, he's the National Director of Job Corps. Ms. Higgins, she is Deputy Secretary of Labor. Mr. B.T. Jones, he is the President and CEO of Minac Incorporated. They think it's a great story. So do I. That's why I have been telling it for all these years. But no one listened. But I kept telling my story. So if you don't think it's a good story, don't blame me. Blame Mr. Carver. Now, in 1965, I was just 17 years old and in the 11th grade. I was skipping school and was not going to classes because I didn't even have sufficient clothes, money, or a job. I saw myself losing out. I heard about Job Corps through a friend. That friend was home from his 6-week orientation break. I met John Rogers on the street in my hometown of Oxford, Mississippi. I was very impressed with the way he dressed. He had on gray slacks, a blue blazer with Job Corps in the left breast pocket, a white shirt, black tie, and shiny shoes. He asked me if I was still in school. I said part-time. He told me to join the Job Corps. I said, John, I volunteered for the Army, but I was turned down because I could not pass the medical exam. He said, this is not the military. Job Corps is a school set up by the government. They will house you, feed you, provide you with medical care, provide clothing, and teach you a trade. You will be able to travel, meet other people from different cities in all walks of life. I said, John, where is the Job Corps? He said, they have a Job Corps in Kentucky and Oregon and lots of places. I said, John, I need money while I am in there. He said, we get a check every 2 weeks. That night, I made a decision that set my life on the right track. That night, I decided, the decision I made has stuck with me for the last 37 years. I joined the Job Corps. I was sent to Atterbury Job Corps in Edinburgh, Indiana. I joined the Atterbury Job Corps choir. We had classroom and on-the-job training. I was in the very first class to ever graduate from Atterbury. I graduated with a certificate in advanced meat cutting. With my certificate, I got a job with Red Owl Foods in Milwaukee, Wisconsin at the age of 20. Because of my training in Job Corps, I became a journeyman meat cutter in 6 months. Normally, this would have taken 2 years. At age 21, I had a good job making good money. So I figured it was time to set some long-term goals in my life. Our union representative came to the store one day and told us that they had negotiated into our contract a pension plan. The way this retirement plan worked was if you stayed in the meat cutters union and paid into the plan for 20 years, your pension would be paid in full. That night I set my long-term goal. I said in 20 years I would be 41. So I would cut meat for 20 more years and then I'll own my own business. In December 1988, I bought my own business at the age of 41. I am the owner of Range Road Laundromat in Memphis, Tennessee. And speaking of stories, I was invited back to Atterbury in December of 1998 after 32 years. I was keynote speaker to the graduating class. The following day, I was preparing to leave. My escorts were taking me around to say goodbye to the staff. A young lady came up to me and said, Mr. Hill, I really enjoyed your story. She said, my name is Amy, and I am 16 years old, and I am from Illinois. I am leaving today going home for my Christmas break, and I was not coming back. But after hearing your story, Mr. Hill, I am coming back on January 3rd and give it all I've got. That moved me, and it stuck with me. It stuck with me so much that when I arrived home, I wrote a letter. And in that letter, I said, Dear Miss Silver, I wholeheartedly believe that every young person in Job Corps today should hear my whole story on what Job Corps has done for me. By taking advantage of what Job Corps has to offer, it can do the same for the youth of today. I vividly remember in 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th grades, sitting in class, smelling the food cooking in the cafeteria, but come lunchtime, I did not have the 15 cents it took to get me something to eat. I could not stay focused. However, Job Corps changed that. I understand that young people today do not have the type of problems that I had. They seem more complex. So we must try everything at our disposal to instill in them the importance of education and morals. It is not only important for young people, but America as a whole. Statistics tell us that we are living longer. So if we live longer, that means we are living to a grand old age. Who is to make the decision for us? Who will determine our destiny and our long-term care? We must continue to put forth every effort to reach these young people who for some unfortunate reason have dropped out of school or have fallen by the wayside. We must let them know this can be their second chance. Job Corps works, and I, for one, am a prime example of the purpose of Job Corps being established in the first place. I followed the rules and took heed in what my counselor told me. Job Corps worked for me, and it can do the same for the youth of today because I started where you are. At age 22, I told of owning my own business one day. I was told it would not happen because the odds were stacked too high against me. He said, number one, you're black. Number two, you are epileptic. And number three, you are uneducated. I was advised by my employer to take disability. He said, you're going to have a seizure back here one day and cut your damn arm off. I am still black. I cut me for 22 years. I am 98% seizure free. I have both arms and I own my own business. I made them out a lie and I beat their odds. So young people, invest in yourself. It will pay off. Education is the key that unlocks the doors to new avenues and opportunities. Education can be obtained in a classroom, in a trade shop, of a vocational setting, on-the-job training, in the military, or in the Job Corps. We owe it to ourselves, young people, to take advantage of every opportunity. We have to learn. It is a privilege to be taught. We should never take it for granted. We must remember we can learn something from anyone if you are open enough to receive it. You can learn what to do as well as what not to do. Keep in mind, you can benefit from the mistakes of others as well as from your own mistakes. Use mistakes as a source for self-improvement and never give up. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Remember, winners never quit and quitters never win. So keep at it. We cannot afford to neglect any opportunity for increasing our knowledge. The road I took was not the easiest, nor the most desirable, but I took the way that was available to me at that particular time in my life. From school, I went to the Job Corps where I learned the trade and skills that I used to get where I am in my life today. You see, my business has allowed me to be more involved in the community. My training has allowed me to network with people who can help me to continue to move forward in life. Education and training will do the same for you. When you accomplish something, it gives you a sense of pride that you cannot get from any other source. If you believe you can accomplish something and you conceive it in your mind, you can achieve it. There are 3 steps you must climb. Step 1, stay motivated. Set goals for yourselves, young people. Stay focused and keep your eyes on that prize. Step 2, be determined. Never stop trying until you've reached your goals. Step 3, set priority. So put things first, get an education. Make it a habit to get to know and associate with new people who are successful. This way, you expose yourself to new ideas and new ways of life. Learn a new word every day so you can improve your ability to express yourself, because what's up, dog won't get it. There is a Chinese proverb that says, tell me and I will forget. Show me and I'll remember. Involve me and I'll understand. So get involved, young people. Don't be a spectator in the game of life. Come out of the grandstand and come on down to the playing field where the activity is and where sound decisions are being made. Do your part, young people, and make things better for yourself and for others. There are 3 types of people in the world. Those that make things happen, those that watch things happen, those that ask, what happened? Which one are you going to be? In closing, young people, the ball is in your hand. Treat it like a football game and run for the goal line. Or treat it like a basketball game and shoot for 3-pointers. Don't just settle for layups or dunks, young people. You shoot for 3-pointers, and if you miss, young people, you scramble for the rebound, and you keep shooting for 3-pointers. Thank you. Wow, 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 wow. This has been a pleasure sharing my dad. Oh, man. It just warms my heart because I remember these stories as I was coming up, and I seen his journey firsthand. I've been around that laundromat ever since I was a child, and there's many people to this day that not seen me grow up with my dad around that business. So as he said, keep towards your goals. This is Brian Hill with INY Legacy. Make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, share this video out, because there's other people that need to hear stories of triumph, stories of success, stories of from an employee to an employer. And I will see you on my next video.